Good Friday morning. It is the day after St. Patrick's Day. And I had a good day yesterday, and I'm hoping today will be good. I mean, right now it's raining. It's supposed to be rainy on and off all day. I looked at the radar report and kind of went, oh, yeah. Might be more than just rain. There might be some thunderstorms in the works or in the mix. But I'm like, as long as power doesn't get knocked out, as long as nothing goes wrong at work because of the weather, things like that, I'm fine. Jerry is currently sleeping because she did not have very much sleep last night. She was having breathing issues because of her sinuses, which I can understand because I've been there. I've had my sinuses so messed up and whatnot. That's probably one of the reasons why I'm more of a mouth breather than a sinus breather, because I've lived so many years with my nose always being clogged that it's just easier to breathe through my mouth. New, but the week ahead is going to be interesting because, granted, I have Saturday and Sunday off, and I'm hoping Saturday I can do work in here. Sunday, I'm hoping for a day off because even though I was off yesterday and today, well, supposed to be off today, but I volunteered to come in to help out between 1 and 8 with catering. Sorry. I knew what I was going to say and my brain took a dive. I'm actually looking forward to tonight. I don't know what it is. I mean, as much as I grumble about my job, I do enjoy it. Something about making foods or prepping foods to be served to the general populace or a specific group of people, there's a joy in it. There's a real joy in working with food prep. I think it's one of the reasons why I keep on going back to it, even though I say I'm tired of dealing with food. I'm tired of this because of food. I'm tired of, tired of fast food. I'm tired. A lot of people do that, but then they realize how much they actually enjoy it, and that's one of the reasons why they can't get away from it. Take, for instance, yesterday, Jerry had a medical appointment, and Mom had her running around what to do, and Mom ate McDonald's or something like that while she was running around, and Jan and I came home, and it's like, well, Mom ate. I forgot to pull. No, I got that. I forgot to pull out something for dinner last night. So one of the things that Every Plate sent us that Jerry ordered because she wanted to try it was a risotto and mushroom dish. No beef, no meat, nothing to defrost, basically. So I was like, well, since Mom ate, why don't we go ahead and make this and see how well it works for your palate, because of her throat and mouth still being irritated by side effects from the chemo. So I made it, and I'm thinking, okay, I'm probably not going to eat this because I'm not a big fan of just a vegetarian style dish. I want meat with my food. But I made it, and brought Jerry a dish of the meal, and she was able to eat it and get it down. It wasn't too spicy. It didn't have a lot of hard parts, even though the rice was still just a little al dente for her. It wasn't crunchy. It was just not very, very soft. And she goes, what are you going to do? I'm like, well, I was going to go make myself something else. She goes, no, why don't you try this? Why don't you get yourself a little bowl, see if you like it, and come in here and watch a movie? Well, to my chagrin, it was really good. And the recipe was designed for 2 people, so that was perfect. We got done eating, and Jerry goes, is there anything left? I said, no, it was a 2-person meal. She's like, oh, I knew I shouldn't have eaten it all. And I'm just like, Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I wasn't going to eat it, because I was kind of thinking it's more along your line than mine. But I ended up enjoying it and eating my plateful, my portion. So it's another recipe to be kept. Um, the only thing is, it does not give like, because everything comes to you, everything from the every plate comes to you in portion sized bags, portion controlled system. So they don't tell you how much of the rice or how much of the, well, they give you a basic idea of how much mushrooms, um, but they don't give you like specific amounts. Um, so it's like, okay, I know it. I know it calls for um, 2 to 4 um, pieces of garlic, the little bulbs. You know, the little pieces you break off a bulb of garlic. It calls for a teaspoon of thyme, um, a whole onion, roughly 6 button mushrooms, but it does not tell you how much of the rice or, well, it tells you everything but the rice. So it's like rice would be a guess, a guesstimation. But I think I could recreate the meal if I can just get the ingredients, which I have. The only ingredients I don't have would be the vegetable stock, because it doesn't tell you how much of that to use, and it's in a concentrate, not a bottle. It's in these little packets that look like ketchup packets. Um, so the only thing I don't know is exactly how much of the vegetable concentrate for the sauce, or how much rice. But otherwise, I could probably recreate it if I had those measurements, or can guesstimate and get the little packets of vegetable bouillon or vegetable concentrate, however you want to put it. But I'm like, it was good. I liked it. Mom would not have liked it because she's not a big fan of mushrooms. She doesn't like a lot of mushrooms. She likes a couple pieces. You know, that's about it. But tonight is going to be fudge, a steak dish, steak, broccoli, and mashed potatoes. And yes, this is not a package of mashed potatoes that you boil. These are potatoes that you skin, boil, add your ingredients, and smash with a potato masher. Yeah. Um, but anyhow, today I was going to use the morning time to clean out the car, but with the weather being so rainy and whatnot, I'm a little leery of doing it, because I don't want the rain to get into the car, and since I can't get the car totally underneath the carport due to the shed where Jerry wanted it, I'm not going to say much. I like the shed because of the fact that I can get all the stuff out of the attic into it, and have all the holiday boxes at ground level where I can get in and out of it without worrying about climbing up and down a ladder. Because I noticed lately, and I don't know if that's because of ear problems or my age or what, but I get a little leery climbing up and down that ladder. It's not that stable. Does not really have any rails or bars to hold on to. And once I get up into the attic, I have to turn sideways on the steps to sit down on a platform that's up there to get the boxes. That, in fact, with Jerry being incapacitated and Mom being the only person who can help me, I'm leery of a box popping open on her, or she can't handle it because of her back. So the sooner I get that stuff down, the better I'll feel. Probably do that on a nice weekend or during spring break, because it's supposed to be nice in the 70s during spring break. Except for maybe Monday, Tuesday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday is supposed to be chances of showers. So, yay for spring. It's not that I don't mind the showers and whatnot. It's just sometimes it hampers certain activities due to arthritis and back problems and all that fun stuff. But I'm happy it's spring. I'm hoping the cold weather will start staying up north where it belongs. Sorry for those of you who live in Canada and Alaska, or even Washington State. So that's kind of like the plans for this weekend, is to try to do some internal housework. Hopefully have a whole day to myself to do this. I know Jerry needs certain kinds of assistance due to her health issues. But I really need a day to myself to do whatever I want to, whether it's come in here and clean, or sit in front of a TV and play video games until my eyeballs burn out, become square, as my father-in-law used to say. He was kind of astonished that I could sit there for hours on end without having any problems. And he used to joke, going, "Hey, you got square eyeballs yet?" No, Pops, I don't have that yet. But maybe that's one of the reasons why my eyes are so screwy, is because I've spent way too much time in front of a computer monitor for one reason or another, whether it's playing games, whether it's writing up stories, reports, whatever, which unfortunately I did not save on a diskette or anything like that. Every so often I get these just sparks of inspiration to write a short story. As my brother-in-law, my younger brother-in-law, God rest his soul, used to say, I'm an idiot savant. I'm like, whatever that means, I don't know. But I think a lot of the most brilliant minds ever known in history were idiot savants of one form or another. I mean, look at Albert Einstein. He couldn't do 2 times 2. He couldn't do simple math. But he figured out E equals MC squared. Where'd that come from? You know? Or Beethoven. Beethoven was considered deaf. He could not hear. But he can feel the vibrations of the tones, and he created some of the greatest symphonies on the face of the planet. Some of the most brilliant minds on the face of the planet, whether it was science, art, or music, had a disability of one form or another. Were they idiot savants, or were they just gifted? Or as they used to say in the old times, touched. That was an old Norse term, touched. That's why the shamans or soothsayers or fortune tellers were considered touched by the gods, because they were able to predict a possible future or give guidance to those who were looking for it. But anywho, oh yes, I don't know if I talked about this yesterday. This book. Unfortunately, I have not been able to read much of it lately, because of the fact that I get sidetracked too easily by all the other things that need to be done. And I know a lot of people will be like, well, you need to get those done. Do that instead of read. Well, sometimes reading gives me inspiration. Sometimes reading helps soothe my mind and make it easier to go to sleep. This book, no, I'm sorry. The first bit that I read got me so revved up, or however you want to put it. that I couldn't relax. I was just like, oh my God, I gotta read. I had to literally reread it once or twice because, especially when they were talking about the players and they only talked about three of the Norse gods. Of course, y'all probably know which ones, Odin, Thor, and Loki. But, there was some mention of some of the other deities, um, especially when it came to Loki, because Loki was Loki was an oddball. And I don't mean that he was strange or anything like that, but he was one. I mean, how would you feel if you were the scapegoat for everything that went wrong, um, in their domain? I mean, let's see here. Loki married an ice giantess, had 4 children that were just not normal. I mean, he birthed the four-legged horse, or not the six-legged horse that became Odin's mount. He birthed Finrin, which is the demon that basically is supposed to be the herald of Ragnarok, and bit off Tyr's arm or hand, while the other gods wrapped him up in magical chains that basically could not be undone until Ragnarok. Hela, yeah, Hela was not Thor's sister, like they say in the Marvel movie, Dawn of Ragnarok, Thor, Dawn of Ragnarok. Um, she was basically Loki's daughter and became the goddess of death. Um, you know, Loki had some weird children. And of course it did talk about Odin and his wife Freya, and Thor married Lady Sif, who was actually a goddess of the hunt, I think. But they talked about like the main characters of Norse mythology, and I'm like, I didn't know all this. So it's been a good read so far. I can say that much. But anyhow, I am going to go ahead and get off this. Yes, it's a little shorter than my normal ones. It's mostly because of the factor I am fading out. My brain is the rain and whatnot is causing my brain to just like become so mellow that I can't, you know, can't think of a straight line, let alone what I was going to talk about. But I'm hoping tomorrow I can get in here and just spend the day in here cleaning, getting the boxes that are supposed to go to Goodwill into the back of the van. I might actually do the van first and then come in here and do this, because the van should only take 45 minutes to an hour. Unless I want to do a deep clean, which means taking everything out of the van, vacuuming the crap out of the van, and then putting the necessary stuff back in the van, and the other stuff where it belongs, whether it's in the outside utility room or need to be washed, because there's like a comforter and a bed. And I can't remember what it's called, but it goes over. It's a bed topper. It basically helps to make the bed softer. Because some stuff spilt on it, and luckily it wasn't corrosive. It was just, gave it hard patches or something like that. So, and because they're queen size items, and we don't have a queen size bed anymore, I might just get rid of them. I might just clean them up and take them to Goodwill, which might upset Jerry, but I don't. not that I don't care. It's more like, why am I keeping it for something I don't need or don't have anymore? I don't know. But anyhow, hopefully you guys liked this video. Give it a thumbs up if you did. Any questions or comments about this particular vlog, go ahead and put them in the question comment box. And if you're new to my channel and decide to join of your own accord, go right ahead. A little bell will pop up and click on that bell, and YouTube will let you know when I put my next video in. So until next time, you guys have a good day. Enjoy. Bye.